Coming to the panel discussion, which is 4 years of IBC, the revolution witnessed, and the practice for future. I would like to first address a question to Justice Singh. Sir, as we know, the IBC was framed keeping in mind broadly three goals. One is the need for a quick resolution because the belief was under the earlier laws of SICA and winding up, everything was highly time consuming, and it took minimum 4 years and even up to 30 years for a case to be resolved. Second is to preserve the business value and possibly ensure the business survives or is sold as a business itself. And thirdly, of course, to have one unified authority instead of multiple authorities dealing in different aspects of liquidation, like a BIFR and like a high court dealing with the winding up. So, in your practice, as well as your experience as a high court judge, where I'm sure you would have dealt with some winding up cases, and now being on the bench of NCLAT, do you think that the IBC has achieved some of its goals, at least, if not all?
Yes, thank you for asking this question. Why this IBC code was one of the major reforms of this present government have been so popular and instant success. If you trace out the history of the corporate world, India was, it can be divided into two parts. From after independence, when we have a planned economy and the planning commission, everything was supposed to be done by government. The public sector corporations were trusted with all the responsibility of nation building and other things. Private sector have a very little role. This continued up to 1991. And whatever law at that point prevailed, the general perception was that if the business or industries will not run or become sick, the government will nationalize it, and it will be the duty of the government to see to it that it becomes again healthy. And lot of law at that time was also enacted. We have seen in the case of sugar mills, which have been, when private sector, in the hands of private sector, when they start falling sick, they were nationalized. Sugar corporation were built, but they have made their own thing. The famous industries is in the textile industry, where one stroke of pen during emergency, more than 28 textile mills were nationalized. And SICA and BFR and other things were there. The main object of those act was with an only object was that to bring back the sick industries to normal health without changing the management and other things. So that did not prove successful. After 1991, when the new economy was liberalized, and lot of, and this has to be seen in the backdrop of the population of this country, which is more than 130 billion. Their aspiration were there, so government was forced to open it because of balance of payment crisis and other things. And when private sector was open to all the industries, then we required a suitable law to deal with those situations of insolvency and other things. Although discussion was going on to have a separate dedicated insolvency law right from early 80s, but it was never given a serious thought. So even after the economy policy of 1991, it took at least 15 years before this IBC code came into effect. And one of the persons from beginning associated with this code is Dr. Sahu. He is one of the, at least, or most of the support legislation have been vetted by him, and he is author of it. And he had framed the law or amended the law, they tuned with the situation and the things grew. So it, it had proved success to limited to its large extent, whereby by simply bringing these laws and other amendments, we figure very high on the ease of doing business index. So it's very difficult for foreign institutions to come and invest because the movement of contact was a big challenge. So this act has proved a success. So far, my experience as a company judge, I'm not sat for many time, much in the company jurisdiction, but I can share with my experience with, although the High Court prior to this in Companies Act 2013, which also have a litigation history, where the jurisdiction of the High Courts was taken out and was vested in NCLT with a new institution and NCLT appellate form. Company jurisdictions were there, but we did not have dedicated company judges. One or two judges were only assigned with the power, and they used to sit either one day in a week or a half day in a week. The oldest case for liquidation of a company was with Patna High Court. Now it had come to our Jharkhand High Court. It's a case, just you see the predicament. It's a case of Chota Nagpur Banking Company Private Limited. It was established in early 40s by the coal mine owners, which was privatized in private hands, and the Maharaja of Ramgarh. They have, because we have very little banking sector activity there in that part, it was known as Chota Nagpur Banking Company. That went into liquidation in 1955. It had huge asset, not only in Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, all real estate companies and other things, because it was also doing in coal business and other mica and other business. That fell sick, it went to liquidation in 1955, but it can't be liquidated. From 1955 to 2000, for 45 years, it was with Patna High Court, because the Patna High Court the original jurisdiction. And only when 2000, on 15th November 2000, when Jharkhand High Court came into existence, because it's the territorial jurisdiction Jharkhand, that case was transferred to our High Court. And at that time, I was working as a joint analyst and computer. I had to receive that record. It came into 10 trunks. So, and it took at least 2 weeks, because every document has to be, before we take charge of a record, we have to verify every document. If a page goes missing, then it will be in trouble. It took 2 weeks by two of my staff who sat and physically verified those and all. That case is still pending with the Jharkhand High Court, because the most of the time, either the death of the parties and substitution and notice had not been served. So this is the state of affairs. And because of this National Judicial Data Grid, now every data has been digitalized and Supreme Court is monitoring it. So we have, every time we have to answer it to the Supreme Court, why this case can't be disposed of it, despite we have put in more than 60 years, 70 years now. The long report have been given, but nothing. This was the state of affairs. And we don't remember, at least I can remember one case which was successfully liquidated. That was Bihar's Sponge and Iron and Steel. And it was taken by Jindals. And now Jindals have renovated and they are running a very good steel industries near Patrato in Jharkhand, in Ramgarh district. But other experience is not. Working at the time to time, I also sat in that jurisdiction, because that jurisdiction keeps on changing for say 6 months or a year. but my experience is not that good. If you contrast it and see with this IBC code and CLAD functioning of NCLT or NCLT, now time have changed. Mindsets of Lord Council and everybody have changed. It have a time frame. Although we are not adhering to strict time frame, but by and large we are maintaining it, and it is giving results. So giving results, cases have been resolved. There are some big companies which have been where management have successfully been transferred to the resolution applicant and other things. So this act has proved successful in contrast to the earlier Companies Act.
Thank you, Justice Singh. That was a very useful comparison, and it was entirely your experience, I think, which has given us this insightful thoughts about how the resolutions have changed under the various enactments. And I'm very, very happy.
As I'm discussing, I was mentioning that Chotanagpur case, that record is in my mind.
That's unbelievable.
20 years I've handled it, so still that case is there. Nobody knows when it will be, what will be the fate of that. And huge land, now it can't be done because huge land, even our airport to railway stations of Ranchi is in that land that belongs to. And the government during Second World War, using that, we have a special land acquisition act, that act is still there. And that compensation may be given or not be given, but it immediately vests. At Second World War, but there, and Ranchi have a huge cantonment, and Ramgarh have a huge cantonment. The Sikh regiment have the largest cantonment, second largest cantonment, Ramgarh. The lands of Chotanagpur banking were required for establishing airports, railway stations, and not a single penny till date had been paid. And the government is contesting it.
Wow. No. So, I mean, yes, it's very, very scary. I too have been involved in a winding up petition, which has now been going on upwards of about 20 years in the Delhi High Court. For some reason or the other, some parties keep impeding themselves, and the matter just keeps getting extended. That way, yes, it is absolutely a valid point that the IBC has sort of structured the resolution in such a manner that it is time bound and it has really reduced the time frame anybody has to face. Dr. Sahu, just two questions to you. One arising out of what Justice Singh had mentioned about the time frame and the fact that the Chotanagpur case, for example, and I'm sure there are many other Chotanagpurs in each high court, which have possibly been, a judge may have handled it, and the judge's son may also be handling it as either a lawyer or a judge himself or herself. So
in this case, 3 generations have handled it.
Yes, so 3 generations have handled
3
it.
generation. The 3rd generation judge is a very senior judge. They are here and they were also clueless how they used to feel very apologetic. Even we can't do it. My grandfather have dealt with this case. So we're fascinated to see some of the orders pass his signature and other things in Nomo. That was passed by my grandfather.
Wow, that is something incredible.